Hello there and welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining me today. In this lesson, I'm going to talk to you about drop indicators. Some of the things to look at over the board when someone offers you the cube. How do you ascertain whether it's a take or whether you should pass and just start another game? So I'm going to show you 7 drop indicators, 7 positions. In each position, green is doubling. And every position is a drop for white on XG analysis. Also, these are only indicators. And of course, in backgammon, there can always be exceptions to rules. However, it is better knowing something than knowing nothing over the board. So having these indicators should certainly help you think more conscientiously over the board when offered the cube. So let's get started. So the first drop indicator is a lack of development. So here you can see that green is doubling and white basically has no development. Effectively, it's the starting position with one of the back checkers run. So there's not really much kind of going on here for white. So usually a lack of development leads to a double pass. Here, of course, you can see that green has a stronger home board, has advanced to back checkers, white's checker is trapped, and so on. But usually a lack of development is a key indicator to determining whether to take or whether to pass. Number 2 is if you're hoping to be lucky, then it's probably a pass. Now here the race is close, but white is on the bar. So here you might be thinking as white, well, I could roll a 4, enter, then maybe I would get a shot when green moves the checkers around the outfield. You're simply hoping for a really lucky sequence to happen. You've got to come in with one of 11 rolls, then green's got to leave a shot in the outfield, then you've got to hit it with a number too much. Here, even though you have a very strong home board as white with good flexibility, it's simply too much. Pass it, don't hope to be lucky. Number 3, gammon risk. Now here, the score is 4 away, 2 away. So green is 4 away and white is 2 away. And here, it's simply a pass at the score, and it's a huge pass because of a 30% gammons for green, which would win the match on a turned cube. Now, at a money game or at a non-gammonish score, such as 0-0, then this would be a no double. But here, at certain match scores, you need to be really thinking about the gammon value for your opponent. It's simply best to let this one go and then play with your opponent at an odd away score. Number 4, having a crunched board is really bad. Here, green is on the bar but can still double, and this is also a pass. Here, green has 20 entering numbers, and even if white does get a hit later in the game, it's very, very difficult to contain the opponent with a crunched home board for white. Here, if white's 5 point was made, then it would become a big take. So you can play around with positions like this on XG, moving from a 5 point to a 4 point board to see how that alters the cube decision. Also, of course, here, white is trapped behind green's prime, which is another indicator. But even here, with white being trapped and the 5 point made, it would be a take. So having the 4 point becomes a pass. So beware of a crunched board. Number 5, if you have too much work to do, then it is usually a pass. So here, white has 3 checkers back, he has 2 blots in the outfield, he has a blot in his own home board. There's just too many things for white to do, too many blots to clear up, too many things he needs to happen in his position. So here it's best to let this go, and it's a double and a pass. Now if we were to move white's checker from his 15 to the midpoint, then it would become a big take, because then there is less work to do. And also white would have then reinforced the midpoint. So usually it's a bad idea to have blots on both sides of the board. Too much work to do, let it go. Number 6 is too many threats. So here white is stuck behind an avalanche of green checkers, and here green has 5 pointing numbers. So there we can simply cube to see roughly how many times we are going to get attacked and closed out. So here with 5 builders on greens 4, 5, 6, 8 and 9.5 by 5, 25 good rolls for green here to just attack us. So it's simply too much of a threat. Too many sequences would just attack us and blitz us off the board. And there you can see green has a 40% Gammon win on the left hand panel. Now if we were to move one of green's checkers, so if we were to move green's checker, his blot on 9 point onto either his 8 or his 6 point, then he would become a big take, because then he has 1 fewer builder. So instead of 5 by 5, we'd be looking at 4 by 4, which would be 16 good rolls roughly, instead of 25. Now it's not an exact science, but it is worth having a rough idea of how an extra checker can really change your threat value. So too many threats, too many marker losing sequences, too many ways for your opponent to improve his position rapidly, then just let it go, pass it, move on to the next game. And finally, 7 is poor timing. So here, white has a back game with very poor timing. Here, he's going to have to leave his anchor with any 6. So it's just better to pass this. Here, because green has some bad rolls, he should just cash the game here. However, if we gave white slightly better timing and moved his checker from the 6 point in his home board back to his 11 point, then it would become a take, because then 6s, of course, play much better, as do a lot of other rolls. So timing in back games, in holding games, is really crucial on determining whether you should take or whether you should pass. Here, white has no timing, let it go. So there we are, that's 7 indicators on when you should drop the cube. Good luck over the board. Certainly when offered the cube, don't make a rash decision. Use your clock time, stop and think. Have a look at all these things, and hopefully it shall guide you to making better decisions. Thank you very much. See you next Wednesday. Have a good day. Bye-bye.